This week on Hermitcraft.
I made Ren the king, and everybody's loving it.
Note to self, save this clip in case it becomes ironic later. Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap, not by royal appointment. My name is Pixelrift, our writer is LoyXP, captions on this video were provided by Liara, and our weekly quest is to fill you in on everything that's new on Hermitcraft. So, King Rendog has now established a central quest system at the heart of the spawn area, conveniently above the pit they all threw their diamonds into. And the pit has been remodeled into a hub where hermits can take on daily, weekly, and unique quests designed to make progress on the community areas of the server, stimulate the economy, encourage the occasional shenanigan, and reward them for making a difference. So Hermitcraft is one step closer to becoming World of Warcraft, which makes sense because it had elves already and should have an epic raid dungeon once Tango's had a few more weeks to work his magic. This week sees several hermits throw themselves into these tasks with gusto, when they're not discovering wardens hidden in each other's bases, poking each other with sticks, and playing trumpet music while someone's trying to work.
Okay, I don't know if he can hear me, he's over there.
So without further ado, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with His Resplendent Majesty King Rendog I, who has apparently caught the attention of his corporate space overlords by getting distracted and becoming the reigning monarch of the server. But who cares, he has a giant statue now.
And as your king has always been a fan of RPGs like World of Warcraft, he thought it prudent and somewhat humorous to add a giant golden question mark above the head of this magnificent statue.
King Ren sets up the quest hub and stocks each quest with diamonds chipped off the enormous hoard the hermits collectively threw to the Sarlacc, which he reveals were not burned up like the sound effects suggested. It was a test, and most of them passed.
And I'm pleased to say that almost all of the hermits believed in their king and tossed their diamonds into the pit. Well, almost all of them. But we shall deal with that situation all in due course, my loyal subjects. I actually rigged a redstone contraption at the bottom of the pit that spat a random item out into a pool of lava every time a diamond passed through the hopper, and that generated the sound of something burning and created an illusion for the hermits that their diamonds were being burnt to a freaking crisp.
Ren acknowledges Iskal's audition tape and invites him for a royal audience, and also welcomes Etho back to the server, although Etho's other welcome present might be a bigger surprise. And to no one's surprise, some of the fetch quests are laying the foundation for the king's own royal collection, although he's seen firsthand the amount of effort that goes into Z advancements, so he's considering boosting the value of those.
Zedaf, your king is pleased. This trophy suits my room and my mood very well. It's been really fun.
Then again, ordering your subjects to follow this man is a surefire road to running out of subjects. Your scientist was too preoccupied with whether or not he could, and now there's literally more arrows in him than the game can render. No, really, that's Zedaf's thing for this week, though this idea only came up after the invention of Decompression Blast Nether Portal. In short, the portal in the Nether is big and being shot with every arrow to ever come out of a Zoomovoid skeleton farm, while the portal in the overworld is small but still pumping the same amount of arrows out. You get a kind of space-time anomaly slingshot, then you get a kind of meat-based pincushion.
Let's just do a test firing, shall we?
Oh!
Before all the arrows run out. Oh no. Oh my word! Ow! Oh, Zuma hit me in the butt.
Watch out!
And my dangly creatures!
Of all the tasks on the Crown's ledger, one sticks out more than the arrows out of Zedaf. In the name of the king, somehow, someone is expected to set a record. Not that the hermits haven't achieved anything remarkable, it's just hard to beat everyone at anything in a game played by literally millions of people. Enter Cubfan135, who already has an all minerals run under his belt. Shame that the credit can't be assigned retroactively, but hey, the game has updated recently, and that means the category is fresh and not as competitive.
And that will be the run completed. So boom, bang, pop, pow, zing. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. 12:05 is the final time. You'll see we do /seed here to verify. Holy yeah, baby! Let's go!
Though Cub might as well claim he's got the most fireworks crafted on Hermitcraft category pinned down. The Total Chaos minigame needs ammunition. The punishment box craves violence.
124,416 fireworks rockets, all organized by color, duration, and type.
The mess of Inward's dispensers is still incomplete without a potion of every kind, and when Cub says of every kind, he means it. That's why he takes over a nearby beach and starts farming up turtles for the Turtle Master effect. You'd think it would help anyone trapped in the walls that hate, but remember, the resistance effect comes with slowness 4, and you're already walking over honey. The only hiccup is those babies are taking their time to shed, so might as well build a pumpkin farm next to them and call it an AFK zone. At least Cub now has a volunteer to help with some of the fireworks, as Joe Hills is in the mood to help out around the server, having helped Tango snowify the decked out peninsula and playtested Azuma's Minesweeper game with the outcome we were all expecting.
You will see them after pressing a button. Good luck!
So since there's no bombs touching either of these two, we know this one's safe. Oh my gosh, I love this. What? Okay. I don't know what happened.
His own game is looking a lot more constructed. Now, Tango has dropped off a bunch more blackstone to continue the pinball machine backbox, and Joe even tries to make his mangrove trees even creepier, which would be easier if the neighbors would stop yelling at him.
Okay, I don't know if he can hear me. He's over there.
Hello?
Hey, Cub, how's it going?
Hey, I was seeing if I could locate someone with the horn, and it worked.
Oh, fantastic.
Living in B-Dubs' basement is not without its drawbacks, because the landlord might install a poison potion dispenser at the top of the stairs to your fresh new digs, although along the way he's had to deal with a few distractions, most of which are Tango's fault.
Hey, you around?
Yes? Hello? I'm here!
Hello?
Hello?
Anybody home?
Yes, I'm home!
Hey, yo, B-double-O.
Tango! Can you hear me? Music disc. Hold on a second. All right. And it's set up to
Hey,
knock...
you in here?
Oh, you! I don't need you anymore. Just going to listen to these records!
B-Dubs catches Etho getting splashed live on camera, a situation which is literally overshadowed once Etho introduces him to the Warden, cask of Amontillado into the wall by Impulse last week.
Oh, for real? Whoa.
You're not coming out until it's dealt with.
Oh, there's a Warden back there. Oh! Whoa, whoa, whoa!
No, go say hi.
Reaching a compromise with the monstrosity, the Warden, not Etho, B-Dubs returns to the surface to briefly check out the King's quest hub, then explains he's relocated his plans for a megabase to right outside his tower, actually. Despite appearances, that's no moon. It's a crescent broken off a ruined structure that will take shape as the season continues. In the meantime, though, he finds himself in a sticky situation. Impulse swings by and swings at B-Dubs with the dare stick, challenging him to sing a duet with another hermit without directly asking them to sing.
Yeah. Fly me to the moon and let me... Come on, join... Wait, no, I just
can't
asked
see.
you.
You just broke through. Can't say, come on, join me, sing along. You can't,
Oh,
nope, that's the hard part.
If only Impulse had checked the quest board before he made the challenge, because these types of shenanigans will score you points with the king, or at least some diamonds in your wallet. But since there are so many options, Impulse decides to get ahead, or 8, and then try some of them for himself. The first quest is definitely on easy mode.
Say hi to a hermit in their Twitch chat.
But the second allows him to rehome this parrot he had sitting around, and the third incentivizes him to go on a shopping spree, buying up a few materials he can use to decorate his Dwarven Keep entrance, which he promises to do soon. Look at the time, gotta go.
I actually moved into a new recording studio. You see, I used to record all these videos out of a little tiny closet, basically, in my main house, and my family, they could hear everything I said, and it was probably pretty annoying.
Vintage Beef isn't just in the business of making maps, he's also out to buy one in particular from Cubfan's shop, which leads him to a huge iron vein in a distant mesa. Although he's kinda confused by where to find the iron, he still returns with enough raw iron blocks to complete Impulse SV's face.
Yeah, I know the pain. I did like 8 maps to make a little billboard for my store, and I'm never doing a map ever again. I don't know how you did this.
Season 7, I made a bunch, and I was like, I'll probably never do it again, and then I changed my mind.
Hypno's card is also completed and the stats for both are rolled, then Beef sets up a practice arena for the card game in the hope of road testing the system next week.
Her totem card would be discarded. That reminds me, I should probably have a discard pile. And then she'd be revived, back to 1 HP. But this is basically what the playing surface is going to look like. Very colorful, very pretty.
To think about it, Hypnotized's video this week is a fun collection of meetups like that, given that he includes the time the Hermitcraft server dooted the wall away, as well as that time the Warden dooted away iJevin and XP Crafted.
Oh, here he comes. Things are about to get bad.
You gonna die, Jevin?
You gonna die today, boy.
Hypno, did you?
Nobody move.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Nobody move. Ow.
But the most fascinating by far is Hypno's collab with about a dozen zombies who are randomly on the center end island for some reason.
So many enemies. Oh my goodness, and look at all the armor here. There's a lot of armor here. There's a lot of zombies. Somebody's doing something. And what it is they're doing, I don't know. But I'm sure that'll be an interesting video that somebody's got in the future.
Anyway, check out this cool copper farm design Azumovoid found. Who would have thought that the reinforcement algorithm of zombies would be so efficient in the end?
We are building Ian Exo4's copper farm in the end dimension. It took me less than 4 minutes, and I could probably do it in less than 2 if I was trying to speed run the building.
The base logic is pretty simple. A punched zombie has a chance to spawn another zombie. The more zombies you punch, the more will spawn. So luring a few into the end portal is not much of a problem, and then neither is slapping an armor stand until the frames drop to 5 per second. It's all for a great cause, as soon as he comes up with one.
I don't even need any of this copper. For me, it was all about building the farm that I found immensely entertaining to do.
The fun collab folder also presents Hermits Helping Hermits, organising around helping Tango Tech cover a biome in snow for the Frozen Citadel. Weird how on Gemini Tay's side it's labelled iJevin Manhunt 2022. Oh, wait, now I see it.
And then instead of building, I took a 30-minute break to go shoot arrows at Jevin and Scar. So you could say that today is going well.
Pearlescent Moon, Impulse SV, and her have taken to an ancient city and came out with enough skulk to start incorporating it into the block palette, which Gem does, incorporating an entire house into the side of the foundation. Seriously, it's like the house has no clip on. It's amazing.
Look! The Tango's right here! This is so cool! Those bases would look absolutely epic next to each other with the dark and the light. It's so cool. We gotta get a path going through here.
It turns out Pearl wasn't done with the Warden, and the other two might have been holding her back. Not like they were a burden, they're physically restraining her from starting a bar fight with this shambling mound. Case in point, she has 7 Warden heads now, and has gathered a handful of Shriekers to prank people with.
One right here. Perfect. There we go. Now we just need a sensor somewhere.
She draws the line at killing one particular Warden because it's been moved into Corrales' base. But Pearl's new mission is to investigate the alien environment not of the Deep Dark, but of her own custom landscape. And what better place to do that from than the inside of a giant mushroom? Pearl builds out an observation station so she can study the mysteries of her new surroundings and probably spy on the neighbors as well.
I think in general this area is going to be quite nice, and hey, if we manage to find some other people that kind of want to get in on this, there is plenty of chairs for people to sit down at and discuss some things.
XB Crafted has also been gathering Skulk Shriekers, although he's been doing it with a sustainable Skulk farm design linked up to the nearest zombie spawner, and he's not doing it with the intent of pranking others. Instead, the Shriekers are a neat way to line the central pit of his villager statue monument, which makes it pretty ironic when someone has Shriekered his collection of build chests.
Apparently, somebody put something here. I mean, it's a little obvious, right? Those colors are not even remotely the same.
XB's intentions are much more philanthropic, donating a bunch of sugarcane to Vintage Beef's map project so the poor guy doesn't have to keep punching his paper supply manually. And hopefully Beef will consider this act of kindness when it's time to call in that one piece of paper XB wrote IOU on.
I'm in dire need.
Here, let me help you. Here, I'll help him grow. There you go.
Maybe I could this.
It is almost sad that iJevin convincing Tango to add customized automated sounds to people's bases will remain unnoticed simply because no one can hear them over the sound of all the wardens people are also hiding at people's bases. Or maybe it'll be extra funny when it comes up in a month.
It is, oh, I fell. It is your mission to try to sneak record plays into their videos or streams, even better.
Kevin, can I just tell you that's literally what I planned on doing for the rest of this episode?
That's great line to alike. I was thinking that, I was like, dude.
Either way, Jevin grants Tango access to his creeper farm, which also means Tango has infinite gunpowder now. Thank you for that. Decked Out 2 will be real fun. Through random flyby PvP and placing snow, Jevin still finds 4 days of building time to sort out the design for the first build of his castle cliff. At the foot of the handmade mountain sits his very own cathedral of deep slate tile and stone. Incredibly, it's even fully decorated on the inside, so that's 4 days well spent, I'd wager.
At first I was a little apprehensive to make these so tall and so big, but they just really turned out so well. Very happy with those, and I wanted to explore the idea of starting to add more circles into our build.
And finally, there's Good Times with Scar, who takes a different approach to building and simply wraps the pedestrian zone in a single unending wall of storefronts. It's quite an impressive sight and certainly accomplishes what it's going for, which would be the vibe. Though happiest place on earth or not, our writer watches entirely too much Bob's Burgers to not see it as that one shot from the intro.
Become quite a challenge to find unique and different block combinations because I want each building to have its own unique personality, and hopefully we were able to achieve that.
The construction hits a roadblock when the locals file a noise complaint, even if the sonic blast and constant heart thumps they cause are probably much more disruptive. Something tells me this won't be the only video that straight up starts out with a warden jump scare.
Oh, hello darkness, my old friend. Please don't kill me. Hello, Alan. Oh my gosh, those things are really scary.
Still, it's Scar's word against his, and so far Scar's been an outstanding citizen of the Renpire. Why, he's completed several of the King's quests without even trying. Also, you know, the hat. And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP and my name is Pixelriffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. If all this wasn't enough deep dark shenanigans for you, you can check out the latest video in the end screen theater to see Zloy stealing diamonds from the warden's backyard. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next week.